Hi, this is Brent Kinsman.
It's Shane Kinsman.
And we're happy to be here on the Coriolis Effect.
And we're going to talk about our testimony as well as our journey through Hollywood and what we're up to now.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the Coriolis Effect with Cory Oliver.
Hi guys, I'm Cory Oliver. Thanks for watching the Coriolis Effect. Please hit the subscribe button below, and we hope you like this episode. Hi guys, we wanted to announce that like many podcasters, we just started a Patreon account. Visit our page at patreon.com/the Coriolis Effect. We have 5 different levels of membership and offer early access to episodes, behind the scenes footage, bonus episodes, shoutouts, and much more, including personal phone calls, questions and answer sessions, and live chats with Bob and me. That's patreon.com/the Coriolis Effect. Good morning, Bob.
How are you?
I'm doing well, despite all the insults.
No, there weren't that many. We haven't seen each other in weeks.
Oh, sorry.
I used to insult you 3 or 4 times a day. We haven't
amazing.
seen each other in 2 weeks. So I've got, 14 times 4? I got
a lot, you know. But you are married, so feel free to share some of your material on your wife.
No,
Irina.
No, that's trouble.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm going to go with Irina.
We don't do that. Well, not because it's rude, because she insults back much better than I insult
awesome.
her. Yeah, she's got a much quicker wit than I do.
Yeah, well, I'll just go with Irina on that. Okay. But I do have a fun little thing to share with you.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to put it down here. I don't know why I had to put it down there, but okay. Sorry.
Because otherwise you wouldn't bang the mic with it.
I'm so sorry. Drew Taylor.
Yes.
One of our
Black hat from Texas.
Previous guests sent us
from, I want to say, United Americans Tour?
Yes.
Americans United Tour?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Can you push the
I
button?
watched
Ding,
the show.
ding, ding.
I watched the show.
Thank you for being that uno.
He sent me a gift?
No, he sent us a gift.
Oh.
He sent us 2 mugs, and I'll get to
cool.
that. But it says, thank you so much. And it says, asking God to bless you in return for your thoughtfulness you've shown. Looking forward to our adventure together. Love you, Drew and crew. And then there is a scripture that says, it's Ruth 2:12. May the Lord reward you for what you have done.
Did you say Ruth?
Ruth.
There's a book of Ruth?
Are you kidding?
There's 99 books in the Bible. I don't know everyone by heart. There's a Ruth book. I've never heard of that before.
Okay.
I know there's 4. I read the 14 that they took out of the Bible, the Apocrypha.
Okay, well then that's all that matters.
That's right.
And here is, watchmeonflix.net.
Oh, very cool.
That's a cool mug. So here you go.
Why, thank you.
This is
Throw it.
No.
Throw it.
No. I will break a light, and we need those.
Watch me on Flix.net.
Isn't that great?
We want to get our show on Flix.net, don't we?
He's going to put it on, he said.
Did he say that to you or did he say it to us?
Yes, he said it to us, but he also said it to me. And so we will
I'll contact him. So in a month or 2, everybody watch us on Flix.net.
Yes.
By the way, we are now
Flix.net.
on Airy TV.
Okay.
We are channel 114 on Airy TV, AIRY.TV. It's on the App Store. You can get it on Amazon.
I like how you tell me this on the air because we had discussed this prior and we were still contemplating it and did not make a unilateral decision. But I guess you did. So
Well, first of all, we can never make a unilateral decision. We can only make a joint decision.
That's
I can
right.
make a
We
unilateral
didn't.
decision.
Yes.
No, we're on Airy TV. We're not commercialized yet, but we're on Airy TV. And go watch channel 114.
Okay.
I told you about that, I'm sure.
You told me about it, but I had said I think maybe not. But
Oh, I didn't hear that part. What I'm trying to do, I want to get us on Facebook. There's a way to go Facebook Live. I have to figure out how to do that. I'm not very tech savvy. You're still hung up on that Airy TV thing, aren't you? All right. Who's our twins guest today?
we have amazing guys today on the show. They are twin actors, and oftentimes when they have young kids on the set, they will cast twins so that there's certain rules.
Right. Of how long they can act in each day.
Right. And so
That's how the Olsen twins got started.
Right. And these two have worked with some of Hollywood's finest. Their names Brent and Shane Kinsman. And they did the Cheaper by the Dozen
but
series.
They were twins in Cheaper by the Dozen.
Yes,
They were both on.
yes.
Right.
But in Desperate Housewives, they were the sons of Felicity Hessman, which I believe they're twins as well. But I think they've been working for a very, very long time. But they did the Tonight Show and the Wayne Brady Show. Can't wait to talk to them about Wayne Brady because I love Wayne Brady. And they're just great guys. And they took some time off. They both got their agricultural degrees, I believe at Cal Poly. And Now they're just really trying to figure out, what they want to do next. And they have a desire in their heart
Both got agricultural. Are they concentric twins or are they just twins? Are they joined? They go into the same field? They go in the same acting field? They do everything
they're
together?
just,
Okay. Do you know
when
which
you're a
one's
twin,
which?
I would imagine you have a lot of the same interests. In fact, we're going to talk about that because they have the same interests, but they have one thing that one likes to do more. And so I'm gonna go into that if you're listening. But they're just good guys, fine young men, I should say. And so they took some time off and they've realized they want to go back into acting and, into maybe producing and directing. And they're just trying to figure that out, what that looks like. And they're just good guys. I don't even know how to say it. I'm very excited to have them in the studio. They're my daughter's age. So it's this generation, right? And I was excited to talk to them. I did a little pre-interview with them and just to see where they were at. And all I can say is, having just met them for 15 minutes, we need more fine young men like this on this planet. So I'm excited to share with you. And we have a lot of clips that we can put in this episode and photos.
Locally, right? They live locally?
Yes, I believe so. Okay. They've got great parents and they just, they know the direction they're going in. And so they are led by faith and we're going to get a chance to talk to them today. I'm very excited. They're in studio. So. Okay.
And what else is going on while we've got 2 minutes?
We have 2 more minutes? Well, what else is going on?
Nothing to say in 2 minutes?
What?
You got nothing to say for 2 minutes?
No, I can talk about
What's
a lot.
on your mind, Cory?
What's on my mind? Let me see.
That we're allowed to say without getting in trouble.
Let's see. I have a lot on my mind. Every time you turn on the news or TikTok or anything, you're just like, wow. It's really interesting what's happening in the world. I'll say this. You asked.
It's all going to hell in a handbasket.
I don't even want to say that. I just want to say this to any of you out there that are concerned or worrying or trying to figure out hey, what is really going on? Unless we all start to stand up and step up and speak up, we're going to see it. And I've said this in previous episodes and I'll continue to say it just because I believe in it. And I actually have in the back of I keep this here, the Constitution of the United States. I don't know why I keep it there. I just do. And they
are turning that into a meaningless document.
It is, and it's a very sad day because you're seeing a lot of discord, and it's things are being dismantled every single solitary day as the distractions continue.
Right.
And we can post and print, and the media can share about all of the distractions ad nauseum, but what's really happening is things are getting passed, and our freedoms and our liberties are really being stripped away. And I know I've said this before, and I'll probably say it again, but it concerns me for our kids' generation and what's going to happen. And so it's just, taking a stand and standing up for what you believe in. And
it's amazing. You grow up 50 plus years in a society where you take everything for granted, all your freedoms, and all of a sudden they start being taken away.
Yeah.
What do you mean I can't do that? What do you mean I can't say this? What do you mean we're getting censored? We're getting taken off? That's crazy.
This was supposed to be about a 2-week flatten the curve, and it's turned into a 2-year, over 2-year, there's no curve. We're down the rabbit hole, and we need to figure out how to sustain ourselves and take us out of it. But I digressed, and I just want to say, stand up and give your opinion and talk about,
Yeah, and when they say you can't talk, don't let them shut you down. Just, there's nothing wrong with talking.
There's not. And if any side wants to listen and you should be able to speak your truth and not be censored.
Yes.
Not be disregarded. And so I it's like you have to tread lightly and you can't even speak because these things are real. But I will also encourage those of you, and I hear this all the time, and I sound strange when I say it, even out loud to myself, but I hear every single day, my people will perish for a lack of knowledge. So I would say stay close to God and prayer and continue to seek Him. That's all I can say.
All right. We will see you in a minute or two. This episode is sponsored by Dice Throne, where Yahtzee meets Magic the Gathering, a fast and fun board game for all ages. In this fast-paced strategic game of card play and dice manipulation, Dice Throne can be played one-on-one or with up to 6 players.
Players select one of 8 heroes to face off in a head-to-head battle to see who will take the throne. Gameplay involves strategically rolling dice to activate special abilities, playing unique hero cards to manipulate results, and upgrading your hero board to power up your stats. And now, there's Marvel Dice Throne, playable with some of your favorite Marvel comic heroes like Black Widow, Captain Marvel, Spider-Man, Black Panther, Scarlet Witch, Thor, Loki, and Doctor Strange. Dice Throne's Kickstarter for its Marvel Edition is now active. Click the link in the description and help support Dice Throne's Marvel Universe Edition. This episode is sponsored by Brizo Healthy Fruit Tonic. With Manuka honey and apple cider vinegar, less than 4 grams of sugar, and under 35 calories per can, each of Brizo's 4 flavors not only taste great, they are an excellent source of vitamin C. Brizo boosts your immune system and is great for your post-workout recovery. Brizo, available on Amazon and at Brizo.com.
Like Bob knows, I'm super. We're gonna edit this out, right?
Not that.
No. I'm super. Just leave it at that. I'm not necessarily technically inclined, but I did.
Hey, let's start the show.
Okay. You want this all on camera? Okay. Well, good morning. Yes, we can start the show. That we were just talking about Linktree and how you can put that on Instagram and put a lot of things on it. And it's very easy to do, and so I highly recommend it. It didn't take me very long. But today we have 2 very special guests in studio. I like to say sometimes that our guests are brought divinely, and you guys certainly were. And it is Brent and Shane Kinsman. Yeah,
that's great.
They're twins, and you're my daughter's age. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
You're my daughter's age, and you were.
Well, together they're almost your age.
Okay, slow down. It's not funny, Bob. That's not funny.
That's actually
We're not doing
very
I'm
that.
just kidding. They were in Cheaper by the Dozen, Desperate Housewives. You were on The Tonight Show, and you were on one of my favorite, with the Wayne Brady Show. I love Wayne Brady.
The Wayne Brady Show.
He's hilarious.
He is. He almost had as much energy as we did.
I know, right? He has a lot.
No, he kept up. Yeah,
for sure.
That was a fun show. I think that was the one that we ran around the studio, right? I think we did a relay race around the studio or something. It was so long ago. We were 5 or 6 years old, but yeah. I remember on the Tonight Show with Jay Leno, we used to be obsessed with Heelys. You know those shoes
Yes.
that have the rollers on the
Yes.
bottom? We loved those, and we brought those on the show. I can't remember if we used them on the stage or not, or just were like kind of zipping around backstage with them. But we got him a pair of Heelys, I think, for like a gift for like Christmas or something, or like a thank you for being on the show.
And he broke his elbow.
Well, he was on a show called Whose Line Is It Anyway? And he would come up with like the most insane, incredible things off the cuff. And then he also did Let's Make a Deal. And that's been around since before you guys were.
Whose Line's a classic in our
Bob Barker.
family.
Who was the first Make a Deal?
I don't remember.
Bob Barker was Price is Right. I'm trying to get the first host. Monty Hall.
Yes. Yes. You
Way
guys don't
before
remember.
your
It's
time.
way
that's
before
a
your
little before
Now, when
time.
they do Let's Make a Deal, do they still have everybody dressed up in costumes
Yeah.
in the audience?
Yeah, they do.
I haven't even seen Let's Make a Deal. Yeah. We are Whose Line guys, though.
You are?
Oh my gosh, that's like a staple in our family.
Had you seen it before you had done his show?
I don't know. Probably not. We were,
mean
like I
when
said,
they
we
were
were 5 or
5?
6.
Yeah.
When we were 5.
okay.
Well, we did grow up on it for sure.
See, guys,
So
I
we
listen
had-
to what you're saying. I'm with you.
No, so you guys have been in the business, the entertainment industry, for a very long time. We have a word of the day. I can't wait to dive into your story because you have such a great story. But first, we have to do this word of the day. It's Bob's word of the day.
It's not my word.
I don't
it's a
live
word.
in fear, but he does a phobia word.
Yeah, I'm gonna say a word, or Siri's gonna say a word. I'll say it 2 times. I'll spell it. You got to tell me what it means. It is a phobia. And why isn't it working? Your device volume is up. No.
Oh, that's
Well,
That's
Kate, by the way,
awesome.
Kate,
Don't forget
edit
to
all
press
this out.
record.
Every guest. So you guys do this every show. You do it.
Yeah, we do.
Yes.
We do one in the morning.
What
It's
is going
this
on?
thing.
Is it always a phobia?
It is
Yeah.
always a
So
phobia.
it's a
Interesting.
phobia.
Okay.
It's not my choice.
These are not intuitive.
There we go. Pygnosphobia.
We already did this one. We did
No, we
this
did
on the
not.
last show.
No, we did not.
100%. 100% we did it the last show just
Okay.
15 minutes ago.
And what are we betting?
I don't know.
What do you have?
Pignus. Yeah,
What do you have
for
that I want?
bragging
Isn't that
rights.
Dominique's book?
No, that
Oh,
was.
okay.
Hold on.
Never mind. I stand corrected. I was wrong. I'm not afraid to admit when I'm wrong, you guys.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's a good quality.
Oh, This is like the worst day in my life.
Oh no! It's so okay, well we didn't hear the podcast. So
I was wrong. It didn't air yet.
Say that again. Somebody give me a button. Do that again. I was wrong.
That hurts so bad.
You guys have no idea. You are my blessing today.
I'm trying to think.
Kate, you'll need to edit all of this out.
No.
And hold on.
I have 2 witnesses, twins. They're witnessing.
Guys, this never
You guys are
happened.
amazing. You have no idea what you did for me today.
So are we still guessing this
Yes,
word?
it's a different word. Okay,
different
so
word.
let's try this other word. All right,
Congratulations.
So that being all edited out, let's try it now. Oh, God, my life is over. I swear to God.
Yes, it is. Yes,
I want to live with this. I
the
made one other
rest
mistake
of
about 2
your
months ago.
life.
She hasn't let me live it down yet. So, oh God, that's why the phone wouldn't play it because it was trying to give me a little sign.
It was trying, but I
God
have
was trying
the
to help
Holy
me,
Spirit
but I didn't listen. Okay.
Threefold here.
All right, let's see if we can do this now. This will all be edited out.
Geminophobia.
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 Jeez. These are never intuitive.
No.
I forget what the phobia is.
Gemino phobia. Geminophobia.
I don't even want to guess.
Yeah.
At risk of sounding ridiculous.
No.
My first thought was like Gemini.
Right. That's what we yeah.
Phobia of Geminis, I guess.
Oh,
I don't know my
Fear of doubles.
Close.
Fear of twins.
Fear of
twins.
Fear twins.
Ah,
Very
it's
nice.
usually related
Very
to,
nice.
yes.
Always related to the
Probably
guest.
should have
Okay.
told them that, but I don't have
Yeah.
a fear of twins. I'm very, very excited to have you guys in studio today.
That's good
I've
news.
watched all of your programming.
Oh,
Desperate
good. Nice.
Housewives, Cheaper by the Dozen. You played Felicity, Huffman's son, on Desperate Housewives. And we're going to talk about a lot of your experiences in the industry. And then you guys went off to college, Cal Poly, got your agricultural degree.
Yep.
And, I have so many questions because obviously I'm in Hollywood and in the industry. I'm not actually in Hollywood, but I'm in the industry. And it's changed considerably, over the last, I would say 2, if not 10 years, right? And so take me through just everyone loves the good story of how you guys got into the business. And it is really a good story. You're going to love this. I don't know if you heard it.
I have not.
Oh, it's a great story. So you guys all the mic's yours. I want to make sure that both are getting heard on this one mic.
They're fine. You also have a table mic.
Okay, I'm putting that more
good.
towards you. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So, it all started at a Dodger game. We were 4 years old, had just turned 4, super young. And it was one of our first Dodger games, if not our very first. I don't think it was our very first, one of the first 2 or 3. And, we were 2 little redhead, super energetic twins. It's hard to miss, Parents were having a hard time corralling us and keeping us under control. We were on the second level, and we kept getting on the big screen. We were wearing the little blue hair and bone fingers and the whole deal, and they couldn't keep it. We're hyped up on sugar, of course, and so the camera loved us, and they got us up on the big Dodger screen a couple times, and
For like the dance cam. You know how they do
Yeah.
the
Yes,
dance cam or
yes,
whatever? Must
yes,
have been
yes.
one of those.
Yeah. That happened a few times, and there happened to be an agent sitting 2 rows behind our parents, and she just, it's hard to miss. He just kind of took notice of us and climbed down a couple rows and asked our parents if they had ever thought about, putting us into the industry, and they hadn't. It wasn't not at
Really?
all part of the plan. And he kind of actually had to press them a little bit because they were a little bit skeptical. They, they had heard there was always those, famous child actor stories out there.
We were
these kinds of-
so young too. We weren't 7 or 8 where we were at least growing into functional children. We were still 4, like just freshly 4 years old. So
And you hear about this a lot. You'll say, "Oh, I bet somebody your child's so adorable. They probably ask you all the time." And this is one of those success stories where they asked you, and then
when it actually happened,
and it actually happened.
And again, he his name was Doug from a small agency called AKA, and he pushed my parents pretty hard. I had to call them a couple times and convince them. Eventually, he convinced my parents to put us out for a Tylenol commercial, a national Tylenol commercial. So we kind of threw our name in the hat and ended up nailing it.
it was the first try. It was our first.
Yeah.
I think.
It was the first audition.
I was telling Bob
And you
before.
did it as twins or as individual?
No, we did it as individual.
Right.
That's the only thing we've ever done as individual. Was the first thing.
And we were talking about that in our little pre-interview. We do like a little 4 or 5 minutes right before you guys come in, and we were saying, and I'll just put to the point, that oftentimes they'll use twins, when you're younger because they can only work you like 6 or
Child
7
labor laws.
hours.
That's true.
Right, so that's probably why they, if you guys work more than the average 4 to 5 year old because they can do.
Because they can do that. So
Right.
yeah, one guy's technically working on set, but everybody's on set for that much longer.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
we didn't really squabble through that a whole lot. I mean, we were obviously so young and energetic that mom had to be mom on the set and corral us in all the time and stuff. But we didn't complain too much about working too much.
Well,
we did work a lot.
We didn't squabble too much because we squabbled all the time, because that's what
true.
4-year-olds do. So it wasn't anything out of the ordinary.
And are you? Is it just you two in your family?
Oh, they stopped. They stopped. They're like, "Are you kidding me?"
Most people I know that have twins are like, okay, we're done.
Yeah. Well, it was the first try, and so they're like, "No way, we're done."
Well, and our mom was told that she had a really high probability of having twins again, and they were like, "Yeah,
It runs in the family.
that's enough."
My grandpa on my dad's side is an identical twin.
And usually it skips a generation, right? Wow.
It did with us. They say the same thing about red hair too. My mom's mom was a redhead, and she is a brunette, and then so we got the twin.
With the
gene,
mutts,
and
we got everything.
You got everything.
Yeah,
You guys
we
got
did.
everything. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. So you got shot a Tylenol commercial when you were 5?
4.
4 years old.
Mhm.
Do we have a clip of that? We have to find that
gosh.
We
clip.
That's
couldn't
deep
even.
in the
We've looked
archives.
for it. We have like a VCR tape of it somewhere in the archives. In that
It's
in
on
our
YouTube.
house, but is it on YouTube?
It's called
Is it on
Little
YouTube?
Brother Patrick.
What's
We
it called?
have to
Little
find
Brother
it.
Patrick.
Patrick?
From
It's funny
2000,
because
yeah.
I was looking for some of my old ones and I found a Lee Jean commercial I'd done. I think I sent it to you, Bob. And it was on a thing called Culture Club. They have everything online if you dig deep enough for it.
Really?
Whatever you've done is online. So can we put that in?
That is kind of a nightmare at the same
I
time.
know.
Like,
Yeah,
it's a good thing, but like, there's no hiding.
And what kind of commercial is it?
It's
Tylenol.
a Tylenol commercial.
So you're making your parents take a...
Yes,
Yes.
indeed.
It
was
Yes,
fitting.
indeed.
And then when did you do the Doublemint commercial?
Never heard that one before.
Really? yeah, really.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever even seen.
However,
Yeah.
if
You
they are
never saw
still
Doublemint
doing
Twins
commercials,
commercials?
That's
probably,
that's
yeah.
before our time.
Yeah.
We've been told
Well,
about it.
we're not that much older than you,
but-
right?
I am. Well, remember I'm over.
Twice?
Twice there.
Twice,
Yes.
Us together. Yeah, exactly. And then we're
Yeah.
over there. So
So you go to this
Cory, I
Dodger.
insult you so much I forget half
I
of
know,
them when they're in
I
there,
know,
yeah.
right? I know, that's okay. So I have so many questions here, and thank you because you guys are amazing. I was telling everyone in the beginning of this, we had a quick little pre-interview, we talked, and I just got a sense of who you guys were and how you were raised, and it's so difficult in this business. I came into the industry at 22. I moved from a small town to Los Angeles, and I was in shell shock. I mean, it's just not a place. It's not anything like where I grew up. And so for you guys to have managed to keep your feet on solid ground and continue on, and then now, it's been placed on your heart to kind of transition back into the industry, there's just so many wonderful things ahead for you. So I'm excited to talk about, your journey. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about your experience on the movie Cheaper
Cheaper by the dozen.
Cheaper by the Dozen. Yes. Tell us how you got that and Desperate Housewives, and let's just talk about your journey in Hollywood.
And what was it like working with Steve Martin?
that's always the question. We love answering that question
Yeah.
because Steve, I mean, we were 5 years old, and so there's not a whole lot that we remember from our own memories, but thankfully there were people on set, including our parents, taking pictures. We have scrapbooks full of all kinds of, the making of the movie, the filming, the downtime in the trailers. There's a lot of pictures of us and a bunch of other of the kids on the set kind of huddled around Steve Martin while he plays the banjo, because you guys know he's
He's an
amazing
Yes,
musician.
yes,
Exactly.
yes.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So he would play the banjo for the kids. We would kind of between takes like just huddle around him, and he would play the banjo, and he was just so tolerant and so nice to all the kids. I can't even imagine a guy of his like status and also age at the time. Trying to put up with all the kids, running around.
Have you gone back and seen any of his Saturday Night Live?
Seen a few clips just over. So Steve Martin, when he was at his pinnacle in comedy, that was like our dad's era. He grew up. He loved Steve Martin growing up. That
Planes,
was just
trains, and
kind of
automobiles.
which we grew up with.
Oh,
That's
I
I love
love
it.
that.
Yeah, that's
We
a
grew
great
up
staple.
listening to his records.
Oh, yeah.
That was
when I
before my
records.
time.
Oh my God, yeah. No, that was your time.
No, it was before.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Well, before.
But the one with the arrow through the head, and yeah, and then you watch on YouTube when he's live. It's amazing.
Yeah. And yeah, like he said, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is a
That was a
classic.
great movie.
Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
That
I
was-
saw
you
for the
recently
first time
saw.
this year with him and Michael Caine, which knocked me dead. That was
You
a
go
great
back
one.
and watch like Man with Two Brains and
Never
really
seen that.
Haven't seen that
Man with
one.
Two Brains is good. My favorite one of him is My Blue Heaven.
Okay.
with
Haven't
Martin
seen that
Short.
one either.
He plays a
Classic.
mob guy
I
in
actually
Witness
haven't seen
Protection.
that one. I've read
My
that.
Blue Heaven is one of Steve Martin's, if not his best film.
Really?
Yes.
Is it a
Ever
comedy?
seen-
Or
No,
is
it's a comedy.
It's a comedy.
It's
okay.
a very, yes.
People say that all the time. They're like, "Oh, my favorite Steve Martin movie is so and so. It's
Yeah.
probably his best film," but it's always a different film
No.
every time. You know,
It's My Blue Heaven.
I think Dirty Rotten Scoundrels is
That was
my
good too,
favorite
yeah.
for sure.
What
Yeah.
was I'm forgetting the one with Alec Baldwin and Meryl Streep. It's Complicated.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good
He
one.
plays,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
plays
Father of the Bride's a
obviously
good
like
one.
Three Amigos.
Three Amigos is a
Amigos.
classic.
I haven't seen that one yet. You
Father
saw
of the
it.
I saw it with my dad this year. First time
really?
I ever saw it.
Okay.
Yeah, with him, Martin Short, and
Watch
it was-
watch Man with Two Brains. That's a very good one. So, but it's classic Steve Martin. He's just funny as hell.
Gosh.
classic.
But you
Steve
were
Martin.
in 1 and 2, right?
Yeah.
How many years apart were they?
2 years.
2.
Oh, that okay.
We were freshly 5. I think like 4 turning 5. We might have been
Wow.
5 turning 6 in the first one, and then we were 7, I think, turning 8 in the second movie.
Yeah, there was about a
So-
2-year gap. And the second one we have a little bit more recollection of when you're, 5 versus 8. You remember a lot more. And we filmed that one in Toronto, Canada, which was amazing. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
To spend time on the set and on that big lake house too. It was just, a lot of wide
Oh
open
my
space for all those
gosh.
kids was a dream. But that was so you asked how we kind of got.
Yeah, I mean,
how
this
we
is
got
just
into
an
it.
incredible story because it's just favor. You get discovered at a Dodger game at 4. You go straight into a Tylenol commercial, which is what everyone wants because it's an international, the residuals to beat the band, probably, set up the college thing.
Yep, definitely.
And then you transition so gently into Cheaper by the Dozen with, Steve Martin. That's incredible.
That's kind of how it happened too. Like I told you, my parents weren't really looking for that avenue for us. They weren't looking to put us into the entertainment industry. And I think it was AKA, right? Same agent
Yeah,
at the
we were
time,
still with AKA.
right? And they said, hey, there's a role in this new upcoming motion picture called Cheaper by the Dozen. Throw your kids in the
It was a
in the ring.
national casting call.
Yeah, national casting call. Throw your kids. They originally wanted twin girls, and they wanted older twin girls to play 5-year-olds. But they said, throw your hat in the ring, see what happens. So we went to the audition, got a call back. I think went through another round of callbacks, and then on our drive home from the third callback, we got a phone call from our agent, or our mom did, saying, "Hey, your kids were just casted in a major motion picture."
I love that.
And
Wow.
And it was
Your mom drove
all
off the side of the road. And,
no, the thing is she didn't. Like our mom is so like she's such a rock. She's so grounded and she knows
Cry.
she
I don't
just
even know your mom, but after getting off the phone with you two,
You would like
I
her
was
mom.
like, oh my gosh,
You would like
yeah,
her
the
this
two of you
mom.
sound like you survived Hollywood as child actors very well.
that's I mean, yeah, we got
because
out
you
alive.
had parents
It's
that,
because of our parents.
you
It's
know.
it's we get complimented on our parents all the time.
yeah.
And it's
well done, mom and dad.
the props to mom and dad, honestly. They yeah, so what I was saying was like, I mean, I'm sure she got, knowing my mom, I'm sure she got the call. She doesn't get starstruck by, the money or the people or, she doesn't get intimidated by that stuff. And so I'm sure she got the call and she probably called my dad and said, hey, they got casted. I guess we're going to move forward with this. And that was both of our parents' whole attitude the whole time, because we're a Christian family. We're faith-based family. So we move forward by faith, and we don't predict God's will for us. We just kind of approach it where each scenario, when we reach a fork in the road, we say, okay, God, like what do we do next, kind of thing. And so I imagine that's how my mom took the news. She said, okay, I guess we're going to move forward with this, and then the rest is history, and just kind of let the carpet roll out in front of us as we move forward. She kind of jumps off the cliff and lets the net appear, and she's passed it on to us as well.
Ooh, I really like that. She jumps up with us and lets the net appear, which is God. He's good about it. And it says, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you, not harm you, to give you hope in a future. And so you guys have a plan, and you did all these amazing projects, and then you took some time off. And now I feel like I just keep hearing this, the scripture,
Watch out for twins with red hair.
No, it's
Geminophobia.
like
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I prepared you for a time as this.
We told you over the phone.
And so it's like resignating right now.
Yeah.
And so, sometimes God will take us out of our situation for a season and prune us maybe. And well, it certainly has me.
Boy, that's exactly what happened.
Tell us about that.
Well, we left our careers. There was a tipping point. There was a crossroads in front of us when we were about 11 years old, and we could have either really gone deep into the Hollywood situation and had a lot of work. We were getting hit up a lot at that time.
This was after, not to interrupt, this was after the 2 cheaper movies and after 5 seasons of Desperate Housewives.
Right.
And we were let go from the show because in the show the timeline moved forward, I don't know, 10 years or something. And so obviously we couldn't age that.
Right.
They couldn't, make us age that fast. And so we left the show, and then the Max and Charlie Carver were hired in our place.
Okay.
And so at that point,
You were free agents. Your contract
Yes.
was
More or
done.
less,
Yeah.
Yes, we were. And we had a decision to make: either really dive deep into the Hollywood acting situation, and that's how we would spend our adolescence, or go the other way, get out of it for a little while, take what we could get from, what we had from that world, and then go have a normal childhood. And that's exactly what we did. It was our decision.
And that
but
was
it
at what age? I'm sorry.
11.
11. Okay.
Yeah, 11. And so that's what we did. We went to middle school. We played baseball. We were really into sport.
I was just going to say, go play baseball,
Yeah.
go play a sport.
We wanted to just play baseball.
Live, yeah.
And that's what we wanted too.
Because
we didn't wanna-
those of you out there, when you're on the set, you're working. You're not just, when your moments of break, you're doing school. So you're on the set, you've got a teacher there that's keeping you in line with school, and then you're having to memorize lines, and you're having to do the marks, and that's a lot for young kids.
Yeah, it is a lot.
Especially when you're on a series.
Yeah. And so while we were doing Desperate, as a kind of a side note, we weren't regulars. I mean, I guess we were regulars, but we weren't the stars of the show. So we still had the opportunity to go to regular school when we weren't working and play sports. But the problem was when you're on a TV show, you can't play sports because you're going to break your arm or bust your lip or whatever. So we while our friends were getting into organized sports, we couldn't for a little while. And that's what really was kind of calling to us at that point. We were either going to do the acting thing or we were going to do the sports thing. And so we played football, baseball, soccer, played a lot of airsoft when we were a kid.
We caught childhood at the tail end. Like we caught it at that time where like we could still make up the years that we, I guess, had lost. But then we were also kind of jumping right into like young adolescence, like teenagehood. So
yeah, that was about middle school time, 7th grade.
So let me ask you this. There was a guy on the Kings who was 19 years old when they went to the Cup and won it, and he was still in college. So he'd go to his classes. Sorry, guys, got to go play in the Stanley Cup. And then he goes, what's it like
nuts.
coming back to school after that your friends are seeing you on Desperate
Yeah.
Housewives, and then you're walking the halls, and they're saying, oh, sorry, guys, got to go film a movie. I'll be back in 2 weeks.
Well, it was kind of normal it was normal for us growing up. And so it was also normal for our friends. And
What high school did you go to?
We went to Maranatha High School in Pasadena.
Okay,
so we're from Glendora, but we commuted to Pasadena for high school. The people at our high school were much more like, I guess, starstruck about the whole thing, and like it was more foreign to them than it was in our community in Glendora because we grew up in the Glendora schools, and like Brent was saying, we also had a chance
You got to get a little closer to that mic.
Oh, sorry.
You think an actor of 10 years would know that, but
I'm rusty. I'm rusty.
Went to college.
yeah. He's a college graduate. You don't know that?
Yeah. So all of our friends growing up since we were really little were kind of used to us just bouncing back and forth from set, because we would do set school for 2 weeks and then we go back to regular school for 2 weeks kind of thing. So as normal as it was for us, it was kind of normal for them too. Okay. So everybody in our small community of Glendora just kind of knew that was going on. And then, like I said, once we got into high school, we didn't go to Glendora High School, which was where all of our friends kind of went. We ended up going to a different high school in Pasadena. And then at that point, they didn't really, it wasn't normalized in that community yet. And so we got to high school. And we were always shocked at how long the, how do I put it? How much that reputation stuck with us. Because by the time we were in high school, we were years removed from our work. We were 15. Right. We looked a whole lot different. Obviously, in those years, you grow up really fast. So our appearance was different. But yeah, the people at our high school at first were really kind of shocked by it and mesmerized.
They didn't know us. It was a different town. We didn't know these people. They didn't know us. And so there was that kind of factor. Whereas, like he was saying, when we grew up in middle school with the buddies that we still have to this day, they're going to be the groomsmen in our weddings, They've always known us. We played sports with them. We candy traded on Halloween. You know, we threw dirt clods at each other and
Those are fun times.
We got to do all that.
Yeah, trash can lid shields
These
and all that.
girls don't do.
Shield. We never had shields. Now you look back on those days, like we were throwing rocks at each other, trying to hit each other in the head. Which never really happened, but that's what kids do.
So
Turned out all right.
Yeah.
Everybody mostly.
Just except for that one kid who now wears a helmet. But
Yeah, most of us turned out okay.
This episode is sponsored by WYLD.Gallery in Austin, Texas. WYLD features art by Native American artists and has original fine arts prints and posters with prices for everyone. If you do not live in Austin, no problem. You can visit WYLD's website at WYLD.Gallery. That's WYLD.GALLERY. They ship nationwide, and art is a great and unique gift for Christmas. If you do live in Austin, contact Ray at WYLD.Gallery. That's Ray at WYLD.Gallery to set up an appointment to see their amazing art. Ray will be happy to discuss any piece of art on their website and in their gallery. That's WYLD.Gallery for the most amazing art by Native American artists.
And that was a smart thing to do. That's a hard thing to do, too, when you have all this adoration as a kid, and then to say, okay, you know, we're going to take ourselves out of it, and we're going to actually just live as kids and teenagers. And I think that was smart and amazing, because it can go the opposite direction, especially during those really important years.
Those are the critical years. Those are the ones,
Critical. So that was a good smart move.
We kind of got the best of both worlds, because we got to experience this like amazing once in a lifetime, you know, 1 in a million childhood from like the entertainment industry standpoint. But then we also had just the classic like American boy childhood as well. We got both, and in perfect timing. And so that's kind of our story. It's a positive story, you know.
Yeah, it is.
I mean,
it is.
and everybody goes through struggles in their life, and their, you know, families go through, you know, financial struggle. Life is hard and everything, but we didn't have any lasting serious trauma from the work that we did as kids. We mostly pulled out a lot of lessons from it. We kind of matured a little bit faster in certain ways when we were younger, because we spent a lot of time around adults and around that industry as young kids. But that was all to our benefit, and so we got.
We were talking about getting pruned, and you said you guys had been pruned, and so.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That did
Tell
happen
us a little
as well.
bit about that, because that's something, you know, as everyone gets pruned, right? It's a given. I see my daughter and I go, what's her pruning going to be? Because you just are heartbroken when you're going through something. So give us a little bit of something that you feel, a moment, a season. You know, I always say our mess becomes our message, our test becomes our testimony.
That that doesn't hold any more true than it. I mean, I'm telling you, like that. It was a double-edged sword at the time, because, like he said, we went to high school in Pasadena because there were changes going on in the school district in Glendora High School that our parents didn't really agree with, and we had a family friend who put their kids through this other school in Pasadena. And originally, we kind of underestimated how long the commute would take. It ended up taking like an hour and 15 or 20 minutes, just bumper to bumper on the 210 freeway. It was only 12 or 13 miles away, but it was at rush hour traffic to get to get there. And like he said, the people that went to that school, they didn't know us, we didn't know them. They all grew up together in private school, so in really small private school, situation. So they were really tight, and that was a hard time because it was hard. We didn't have the years, like they did together, and so it was hard to infiltrate those friend groups. Alongside, having the reputation that we do, kind of made us a little bit more like an animal in a cage type of situation. Alienated, very alienated. So, like he said, it was a time of maturing. We really grew into men early in high school.
We also leaned on each other a lot.
I was just going to say, you had your best friend.
Oh, man.
And what a gift, because you're right.
Classes?
It was a small school, though.
Yeah.
It was a small school, so like we shared a lot of friends, mutual friends. It was a private school. Yeah. So
I had friends, not to total segue, but when I was researching you guys and looking all your stuff up, it brought me back to the 4th grade, Mr. Jones' class, Gabriel and Diego, who they're on Facebook and my Facebook. They would switch classes.
Yeah. One smarter in science, one smarter in math, and you just switch it.
Oh, but the teacher, one day, was so mad.
Did he catch him?
I feel like unless I can't remember it correctly, and this was back in the day when you could actually take it upon your own hands and when you're a teacher. But yeah, he caught him, and not only did he catch him, I think he pushed him up against the wall and said, "No bueno."
Don't do that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever tricked anybody?
Well, I mean, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we've tried. We've pulled a few stunts for sure, but some of them work, some of them don't.
No,
we tried on Mom. I remember we were really young. We were at Bank of America. Yeah.
This is infamous. This is a great story.
So we
love
were
it.
probably 5 at the time, and she took us in to. We weren't in the drive-through line. She took us in because she had to speak to the teller about something, and we ran off and found an empty desk and hid under it, changed clothes.
My stomach is sinking.
Oh yeah, this was a regular occurrence, so she was used to the chaos.
She knew. We'd always find our way back. She was
Always.
like, at that point, she was like, "Oh, they run away.
They'll be back.
They'll be back.
Someone
They know where
will
they
give
get
them
fed.
At least one of
They'll
them.
get hungry eventually.
Exactly. They know where they get fed.
So he changed clothes under the desk.
Changed clothes under the desk and came out, stood right next to her, and she knew immediately because she's Mom.
Pissed.
But
Yeah.
She
was
marked
yeah.
you somewhere.
Oh,
It was an old episode of The Office where they meet two girls who kind of look alike, and during the party he breaks
my
one of the
gosh.
arms so he can tell her who it is.
It's so funny though, because I mean, I gotta tell you, I'm not a mischievous person, but I'd probably do the same thing if I had to do
Oh
it.
my God!
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's in little boys' natures to do that.
All right,
It's in
so
every-
my question is, when you're on Desperate Housewives, do they give you the whole script?
They did. Yeah, they did.
Okay, so you're young. Do you understand the show? The show was kind of edgy at the time, but you didn't get what was going on. You just show up, say your line,
I don't think they read the whole
that
script.
was-
Your mom probably went
They
through the
gave Mom
sides
the
with
script.
you.
Okay.
Yeah, we highlighted.
and then do you ever say a line and everybody thinks it's funny? You guys like, I don't understand why that's funny, but okay.
Probably all the time. That probably happened all the time.
I mean, we were so young, we didn't really have like one-liners,
Right.
It wasn't the humor wasn't in that type of context, It was like the silly, like chaotic for Lynette. It was the silly, chaotic, whole situation, the context of the situation. So, but we were so young.
Because I always go back and watch shows that we watch together, especially cartoons. You watch cartoons that we grew up with,
Yeah.
there's a lot of adult
Nuances.
humor
Yes.
you don't get until,
Well,
Even
SpongeBob was that
SpongeBob, I was
way.
gonna say
I wouldn't
SpongeBob
let
is
Ariana
full
was
of
like, we're not
Flintstones.
watching
So
that.
Flintstones was, you go back and go, all right, now
Yeah.
I get that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Fairly Odd Parents has a lot.
Fairly
of
Odd Parents was a
Yes.
great, great show.
Yeah. No, SpongeBob.
And did you guys maintain a relationship with Felicity?
We've lost contact over the years. I mean, we were really close when we were, shooting.
She was
and
your stage mom.
Yeah.
Well, she
Your
was our
on-
mom. Like
on-
she
yeah.
seriously was our mom on set,
Aw.
and
Seems
that
like
was-
a lovely woman.
she
She
seriously
is.
was.
She
Yeah,
is.
and is, and that was another way that we were protected by God. Is all the cast and the crew just like took us into consideration, and that was why we didn't have jokes and like lines that we didn't understand, because there was nothing like, we were never written anything like dirty. There was nothing dirty written
Yeah.
for us, like, because they protected us, and a lot of that is due to the protection of our mom. You know, she would keep a really close eye on what we did and said and were allowed to do and say, but also that the cast and the crew, kind of backed us up as well,
Yeah.
and didn't allow
That's
that.
so great.
But all that to say, yeah, Felicity was like a second mom
Yeah.
on set.
I would imagine.
Yeah, where our regular mom couldn't see us, Felicity, kept to
Kept
watch.
you in
kept
line.
to
Regular mom
watch
couldn't
a lot.
spank us. Felicity was always right there.
Felicity was right
Yeah.
there. Her and my mom were in cahoots.
Yeah.
Because they needed to be.
I said, whose turn is it to spank the kids?
Well, I did a little research on you guys, and you guys have a lot of similar. I'm holding this up so you can't see, not that you would, but you like a lot of the same things. I love jujitsu, by the way. I have a lot of
Nice.
friends that are in jujitsu. I've not done it, but I did an episode of Pacific Blue, and learned to do kickboxing. And had to do a crash course in it, and before we shot, and I couldn't walk. So jujitsu, it's hard.
It's hard.
I was like, we had to film like that next day, and I'm like, I actually can't move.
How long did they give you to learn?
A weekend, Friday, Saturday,
Oh my
Sunday. We
gosh.
shot on Monday, and by then I was just spent and
Just
I was
wrecked.
exhausted.
Well,
and
you're
I
also
couldn't-
sore from learning moves that you haven't done.
Yeah.
So I was like,
right.
wait, you want me to kick what? No. Anyway, I love that you both love jujitsu. I love that you love fly fishing. My stepdad's a big fly
you
fisherman.
tie your own flies?
Do you tie? That was my question.
No, I want to learn though. I want to learn how to tie
I hear
my
it's
fly.
really
We're
tough.
not man enough yet, I guess.
Yeah.
We haven't crossed that.
Well,
You
that's
get a
I-
good scruffy beard, you'll learn it.
Yeah.
You
Exactly.
can do it.
Gotta
My
earn that.
stepdad does it, and he taught my daughter. But it's well, first of all, it's an expensive sport. It's like getting all of the equipment. You have to
It is cheaper when you tie your own flies, though.
Yeah.
It's like significant.
Oh,
Oh, you
yeah.
have to
buy your
because it
equipment.
takes so
Just-
long to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tedious work, though. It is tedious
You
work.
both love guitar. You both love snowboarding, and you both love motocross.
Yeah.
What
that
is
was
the one thing that one of you doesn't do, which I have written down here?
Well, we all do the same things, but I just do them better.
Yeah.
So that's the key.
He's lucky. He's
You know, the
lucky.
funny thing is, it's a podcast. Nobody knows who's talking.
Yeah, well, Shane's talking.
I know, right?
Slide that in
He's
there.
lucky he got that out of his mouth first.
But hold on, there's literally one thing on the IMDb that one of you does, the other one doesn't. I'm just saying.
Really?
Yes, there's
On
one
the-
thing.
On the IMDb.
Okay, on IMDb.
I have to know.
So do I. This is news to
She
me.
looked you up on the Google.
On the Google. I haven't looked myself up on the Google.
On the
By the
internet.
way, you want to piss off anybody your age? You call it the Google.
The Google.
Guys your age freak when you say it. I had a bunch of people working for me. Look it up on the Google. It's not the Google, it's Google.
On the web.
www. dot. If you say
Google.
that before any
Yeah,
website
yeah,
too,
yeah.
that'll yeah.
I know
It'll
that's
ruffle
a
some
little
feathers
bit.
too.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
What is
So-
that one thing?
Is
Is it
it's not
sports
surfing,
related
is
or
it?
is it?
No.
It's not sports related.
beats me.
Yoga.
Who has yoga and who doesn't?
Shane
I think
has
I do.
yoga.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, I didn't put that
yes, no.
on? Okay, so
I got that.
Explain yourself.
funny story.
Explain yourself.
Yeah, our mom's a yoga instructor.
Okay.
So that's what she
Okay,
does now.
okay.
And I remember I'm painfully inflexible all the way through high school,
Here.
college.
I'm with you.
Yep.
Oh, we both are. It's
And
horrible.
gosh, yeah. So in high school, especially when I was playing football, all I did was weightlift, and I didn't stretch, and I didn't pay attention to that, regretfully. But our mom became a yoga instructor, and she begged us for the longest time, like, please just try it. It'll change your athletic performance and
stretching
well-being,
is
right?
great.
And I was like,
Okay,
no,
Mom.
that's
Okay,
It's just
Mom.
hokey,
Okay, Mom, yeah.
hokey stuff. Yeah.
And then we started doing it. I was like, wow, it's no joke. It's hard. First of all, you'll break a sweat doing a forward fold if you've never done one
That's
before.
why I don't do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Way too hard.
It's very hard. And then we got into hot yoga for a little
Yes,
while.
yes. So we had been doing yoga for like, a little bit at that time. And we were in Scottsdale, I think, a couple summers ago for an internship. And we used to drive by a hot yoga studio on the way to our internship. And
We saw
If-
the
had we
dolls and
not-
said we could do that.
yeah,
Well, it might have had something to do with it.
Called Bikram yoga. It's really hard.
Yeah.
what is it?
Bikram.
That's what it's called.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Whatever it is, it's absurd. It's amazing. I mean,
You guys
so
went in and did it in Arizona?
One of
It's
these
already
days,
hot in Arizona. You could
and
have
that
done
was
it
the
on the
thing.
side of the road.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Seriously, no, it was like they held the room at like 98 degrees
Yeah.
or something. So it wasn't like, ow, my skin hurts hot. You'd walk out and it'd be hotter than it was in the room.
Yes.
But if we had not been primed by our mom to do regular yoga, there's no way you would have caught me dead in a studio. But
Yeah.
we just kept driving by the studio, and one day we're like, we got to do this. So we went in there, and now we don't do anything but hot yoga because it's just like
It's really good, and you have to be kind of careful. You have to work your way up into it. For anyone
you
who's
do.
listening, don't just go in and do a hot yoga class because you think
The producers of the show are not responsible. If anybody hurt themselves during hot yoga.
well, when you're warmed up, you tend to put, like I did a week of it at this place called Cory Yoga in West Core, not Cory. And
so
I was-
Coriolis.
I've heard of core.
Yeah.
I know what core is. Yeah.
it's great, but I think I can do everything, the greatest the first time. Clearly, I was hurting like the second day into it because I just pushed myself in. So you got to be careful. But
because it
Yeah.
allows you to stretch beyond your
Yeah.
limits because of the heat, but then you get sore and it like sneaks up on you. So you got to be careful for anybody's listening. Take our words for it.
yes.
So, and
that's
if you're a guy and you're insecure about it, just give it a shot. Just give it a shot. It'll change your life. It'll change your life.
And
It
doing
will.
it at this age, at your guys' age, starting it now, will prevent you from back problems in the future. It strengthens your core. It's amazing. But it is the one thing that one of you don't have down on.
I gotta fix that. I gotta
up,
tack
man.
that on.
I
yeah.
was like,
It's been a
unless I
while.
I misread it.
It's been a while.
Well, let's talk a little bit about working together and what type of work you guys want to do moving forward. And then I also have a question. I have many questions. I have my mind spinning right now.
good.
Let's talk about
That's a good thing.
yeah, I have lots.
We haven't done anything apart ever, and we definitely want to work together in some degree in the future. We write really well together. We have learned over the years to be civil with one another, and we've actually used our relationship to an advantage because we get to ping pong ideas off of each other all the time, and we have a lot of conversation, which allows you to think. And so we have recently written a project that we're both really passionate about. We can't say too much about yet, but it was much easier to write together because we were able to just like the
Corey,
creative.
sign the NDA. Let them talk about it.
Well, they share a brain. When they came
know,
in, I
right,
asked them
yeah,
a question. They both answered in unison. I go, "Oh, that was in
does happen.
unison."
That
And-
does happen,
yeah.
One of my biggest pet peeves. I swear we're
it's
individuals. I
great.
swear.
But here's the thing: like, I would imagine it's great writing with each other because you get to, you have the same similar, commonalities, and then you also have, you're different.
Exactly.
Yep.
So we can understand the differences between one another and kind of use them to our advantage. It's like sometimes he'll come up with an idea or see an idea from a different angle, slightly different angle than me, and vice versa. But it's also frustrating because a lot of our ideas are the same, but we see it a little bit differently, and so those things compete. But we've learned to be civil over the years.
Is this project something that you guys want to start in, produce, and this is good.
Yeah.
Is
Wow.
this project something that needs an actress who
I can play
It
your
does
mom.
need actresses.
Yes,
It does
absolutely
need
it
actors.
I
does.
can do
play
that
your mother
mother.
figure? Maybe,
Actually, it does.
It's funny you say that. It actually
You
does.
could play the hot mom that's always trying to find a date, and they could be your kids.
Oh, thank you for that compliment.
You're welcome.
That'd be
I really
great.
appreciate that. Because when I did God's Not Dead, they were trying to put me in, played Mina. I don't know if you guys know or seen that movie. But they put me in this, they kept putting me in these doily kind of shirts because they were trying to age me. And I was like, I don't do
No, I said
doily
hot
very
mom,
well,
and
but
it's an
it's
acting
fine.
We'll find a spot. We got a spot.
So, no, but this is exciting because, a lot of people don't realize you can
You
write.
told me if they came in, they'd give you a spot in their movie. You were right.
I did not say that. You're so full
So
of
there
it.
was an agenda.
I was going to say, why are we really
he's
here in the first place?
He's messing. But I like to hear that you guys are writing because in this business, oftentimes actors can get stuck in a lane, and the lane, it goes like this. I wait for my agent to call with an audition. Then I get on the audition, either Zoom or now it's Zoom. But then I go and I have to compete with hundreds, if not thousands of other people and just hope that I get that part instead of writing yourself into the part and into this business. It's very smart, and I love that you're doing that. I know we can't talk about the content of it, but can I just ask, is it a feature or a series?
It would probably do it justice as a feature. It depends. It's a pretty so we didn't write a screenplay. We wrote a story. We're not screenplay writers, but we wrote a story, and it's pretty beefy. And it's got a couple of different. Well,
Thematically,
it's very
multi-layered.
beefy, and so it could be told in the context of like a miniseries or maybe a show. But I think we both happen to think right now that it would hit the hardest. In one session in a feature film, because
or
there's
maybe
a
a two-part film.
Yeah, two-part, yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's good.
That's a good one.
Two-part film.
It's good, yes.
Yeah. So, I think that thematically, just the way it's set up, it's got enough material to stretch out into a couple films or a couple
I think
episodes.
that's
But
smart because TikTok, every night I go on there and I'm like, and they always say, click and like for part 2 or part
man,
3.
just
So
leads you
everything's
on.
like
Just-
2 parts now, right?
I can't get on TikTok for that reason because it just sucks you in, and it's just so easy to navigate, I can't do it. That's why.
Well, it's an algorithm, and so mine has realized, oh, she likes to pray. So
Yeah.
I get a lot of prayer requests, which is,
You meant to say
I love
algorithm,
it.
right?
Yeah. I don't know what I know. It's
You said an amalgam.
he said
Algorithm.
fart a minute
I know.
ago.
You
So
said
it's
it
all
twice.
right.
So
I know.
don't worry about that.
Yeah, but he's not here every day.
Okay, let's talk about the real question that everybody wants to know, because I can say this. I'm like old enough to be your mother, but you're both very good looking. You are articulate. You're smart. You're funny. You've got everything going for you.
Why aren't you married?
No, I'm just saying. Have you ever? And I don't know your situations, but have you ever said, "Oh, I like that girl," and you guys both like the same girl?
Oh man,
I mean,
that would be bad news for Brent.
I think
That's
he's getting them out quicker than me today. It's really irritating. I got to get on my game.
Yeah, come on.
No, I mean beyond a crush. I don't think it's ever been like
Yeah.
we've
the same
crushed
taste?
different taste. We have different
Different
tastes.
taste.
Different. Okay,
Yeah,
so
we
You
that's
don't see a girl walking down and go, dibs, dibs. Oh, man.
Oh,
Shotgun.
Usually that's what
it has nothing to do with her opinion at all. It's
Yeah,
just
I know.
like, nope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come over. Hey, we were talking and I won, so.
Well, but that's
Here you go.
interesting.
That's
that-
the rule. I called it first.
That
Take
is
the
the
arm.
rule.
You can take my arm. It's okay. No,
But
it
you
doesn't
have
happen like
different
that.
tastes.
We do have different
Yeah, we
tastes.
do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
Okay,
our
so-
track record shows that, which I am attracted more, I guess, to brunettes. And I mean, I don't have a type per se, because a lot of that has to do with the context and,
Yes.
and the person. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder,
Yes.
of course. So it depends on the person. But we both only had one serious girlfriend, and mine was brunette and his was blonde, and that seems to be kind of the It sounds so shallow.
No,
Just well, you're just speaking objectively.
Actually,
Just
it's not.
You're not
objectively,
going
of
to
course.
date twins.
Oh no.
No.
It's not
Well,
shallow at all,
no.
by the way. It's not shallow. Everybody has a type. Everybody knows my type.
Yeah.
And
Wait. Guess her type.
Redheads.
You're not too far
You're
off.
not too far.
Because it's not what you would think. You see that poster motivation? You see the main guy with the hat?
Oh,
That's her type.
you like mustaches, huh?
I know. It's not a
little
mustache.
beefy,
It's
a
kind
little
of
overweight.
kind of the Duck
You
Dynasty
like Duck Dynasty
look.
beards,
Wow.
yeah. ZZ Top
So
beards, yeah.
like
But it's funny
outdoorsy.
because I just it's a thing that everybody has. It's not like it's right or wrong. It's not shallow at
I was
all.
speaking, I guess, objective.
Yeah, that's like, you know.
You should never be ashamed of what you like.
Yeah.
It's you get to
Yeah.
own what you like.
Yeah. But
that's the
we do
truth.
have we do have different personalities. You know, they
Yeah, I can see.
We have a similar spirit, but we have two different expressions of that spirit. It's kind of the way that we kind of describe it, and that expresses itself in our interests and in our tastes in, you know, many different things, including women, of course. And so yeah, we definitely do have different tastes.
Talking about that for 1 second, you guys both went to Cal Poly and you decided to go into agriculture, which is like so far from entertainment. Tell us a little bit about that and why you guys chose that.
Well, we. Sorry.
This is how we try not to talk over each other.
You're so
because
respectful
it's
of one
just-
another. I love it.
That skill did not come about on its own accord, by the way. That's a
Worked at
learned
it,
skill,
yeah.
and it's diminishable. But we both. Well, actually, originally, so it's our affinity with Cal Poly started with our dad. He went to Cuesta, which is the community college up there. And we both visited the campus. We went to a couple, you know, I visited San Diego State, where your daughter goes to,
Yeah.
and a bunch of other campuses, and really fell in love with Cal Poly.
I think San Diego State said no to both of us.
Yep.
That was part of the
They
decision.
shut me out. Yep, that's okay. And Cal Poly, with my dad's inherent bias, was just the place to be. I mean, there's like 5 beaches within 10 miles,
Yeah.
and it's got mountains and valleys, and just amazing place, and an amazing school too.
Not far from home. It's not far.
No, it's just far
you guys
enough.
are right down the street, honestly. Yeah, that's what we were saying on the car ride over here. We're like, we're halfway to Cal Poly right now.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, but and it was from us in Glendora. It was just far enough to be in a
Yes.
different world, but we could be home in 4.5 hours, and see the parents, which was great. Originally, incoming. I'm gonna just lob this to you. I got on the wait list for Cal Poly. He got in early admission. Or regular admission.
Interesting.
Regular admission.
Yeah.
So you can take that one.
Then you showed up. Oh, we met the other brother.
Yeah, right. That's 2 of us. Yeah, no, it's okay.
You guys, if you'd have gotten in and you didn't, you could have both shown up and just one of you go to class
A
each
2 for
time.
one.
I don't
share a
trust
dorm.
him with my grades, though. So that's the problem. It's
That's
gonna
so
work.
funny.
I'm taking the high road today, you guys.
I'll stop. I'll cool it down.
I
No, I won't.
fear my vicious wit.
Yeah. But you can continue.
Oh, I was just going to say, so I got on the wait list.
Oh, no.
Thank you. I got on the wait list to Cal Poly. We both wanted to go.
And the wait
Then-
list, by the way, I've gone through this whole program, could just be something like, oh, we have our quota. We this is the next
Yeah,
person
right.
in line.
Yes.
It has
And-
nothing to do with your grades, what
Yeah, he
you've
was
accomplished.
obviously the last guy picked, and you were the first guy.
There you
It's
go.
just,
right.
it's
There you go.
crazy. I
Yeah.
went through the whole college admission programming thing, and I'm like, wait a minute. So you guys literally just throw all these people up in the air and go, we just want.
Pick names from a hat.
Yeah, it's pretty
They
much
do, and they're like, oh, he looks like my cousin. I'm gonna take that one. It's so crazy
because there's so many
nowadays.
qualified people. It's like, who are you
Yes.
going to choose? So
Yes.
he had lower grades in high school, so they had to kind of balance out. He set the curve.
I was on
you
the
know?
low end of the curve.
My GPA was too high, and so they were like, we've already got enough overqualified people.
I'll
That's
let
not
you have
true.
that.
But
Nice try. Nice try.
But anyway, so I was put on the wait list, 5%, if that, get off the wait list. So
Yeah.
I thought there's no hope of me going to Cal Poly. So I set my sights on University of Nevada in Reno. And I visited, loved the campus. It was really modern. I liked not necessarily the Reno area, but it wasn't far from Tahoe. And like I said, the campus was amazing. And I took my senior pictures alongside my Letterman jacket in a UNR sweatshirt, and him and Cal Poly. So we were both set.
And we wanted to go to different colleges.
Mm-hmm.
It was
I was going to say, did you
I
want
was
to
going to
go
ask
we
that.
did.
You
Yeah,
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were ready to be individuals.
Just a season,
Well, yeah,
yeah.
exactly. And we would, come back together later. But we've been a unit. Our
Right.
time. We're 2 individuals, of course, but literally fate in so many different ways has tied us
Yes.
together at least for this part of life. And as he'll explain, that's what happened with this situation too.
Yeah. I mean, we were really ready to be separated. And
were you separately going for agriculture to get like independently?
Yeah. I mean, we grew up athletes after acting. And so that kind of prompted an interest in nutrition and then agriculture from there. And we also had a family friend whose father he was an executive at a citrus distribution company in Pasadena, and so he was kind of our avenue into the world of agriculture, and he loved his job, got paid really well.
Went to Cal Poly.
And eating is a staple of life, so agriculture is a pretty dependable degree, so it seemed like a good idea. And UNR happened. Sights were set on UNR. And then the last night that people were getting pulled off of the wait list at 11 p.m., I got the email saying you were accepted to Cal Poly. And I went, oh, that's what
somebody recognized you as a brother.
Yeah.
They had the same name, and they kind of look alike.
Yeah.
I think it was Mom. She was going, God, please keep them together just for another 4 years.
She called up and said, you take the other side.
I'm sorry to say, but if I was your mom, I would be like, just 4 more years, God, please.
Between my freshman and sophomore years of colleges, I barely showed up at one of the things to pick your next room, your dorm for the next year. So I didn't have a room to play. I was at St. Joe's in Philadelphia. And I came home, I said, Mom, I don't have a dorm room. She goes, I'll take care of it. My mom, a lawyer, gets on the phone, calls the head of the dorm, who's a priest. And about an hour later, she goes, you got a room. The next day, that guy resigned. He said, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm done. And he went to another area in the college. Yeah. So she beat him to death. My son, she goes, let's start this conversation by saying, my son's getting a room. Now, where do we go from here?
Wow.
He's like, there are no rooms available. Because there will be by the end of this conversation. And she just browbeat him into the video. He said, all right, fine, you're done.
There is, you just don't know it yet.
Yeah.
So let's move forward. Yeah. Wow.
Well, I just want to say to all you moms out there, we have a one common goal, and that is to be there for our kids, right? And so
the mama bear instinct.
Exactly. Sent to the guy who's about to drive all his daughter's furniture out to Denver because she decided to move out there.
I know, you're a tough guy. Really, people think you're a really tough guy, but he's not tough at all.
I see. Don't listen to anything she says.
That's not true. Well, so let's talk about then. You go to college, you get your agriculture degree, you're up in Cal Poly, you have a great time, probably a great experience, right? You guys, did you play sports at Cal Poly?
No, we didn't. We played intramural sports just for fun. But Cal Poly's Division I in most of their sports, and that is just a commitment on top of school. We just didn't want to do that.
My daughter played Division I.
Oh, she did?
She's actually a little brag moment. Sorry, so we're talking about mom.
Cory's face.
I know. She is a 2-time Junior Olympic bronze medalist for the water polo.
Wow.
Water polo too.
Water polo's no joke.
One of her teammates just won the gold in Tokyo.
She played with her.
One of those 2 very chairs.
Amanda Longan.
Good.
Well, that's crazy.
You'd love her. She's a great girl. She did. Yeah, she played with her for 2 years at Oaks Christian. My daughter went to Oaks Christian. But anyway, side note, Division I is hard.
Water polo.
Oaks Christian's pretty competitive in sports.
Very much so.
They're a private school, but they're
she did really well.
Yeah, yes,
they do.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
They're not supposed to, but they scout.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
You can recruit. You just can't pay them anything.
Right, you have to.
You can offer them a scholarship. In my high school,
whole thing, that Division I. It's like a real thing. Have either of you ever gotten in the pool and done water polo?
No, we're not water
It's brutal.
people.
Me neither. I'd have been tapping out. I'd be like, I'm so sorry I hit you in the face.
And it's dirty. Like I've heard, we had water polo friends growing up. Like,
you should see what happens underneath the water line.
I know people apparently grow out their nails and like it's dirty.
They're not supposed to. I went to, and I'm happy to say, I'm trying to find the picture of Ariana. She got elbowed in the eye and literally a huge boxer cut.
Yeah. They are tougher than football players. They seriously are. We both played football. We played middle linebacker football. And I couldn't do water polo.
Well, here's the difference,
but football's brutal for your mom to watch too, though.
There were concussions.
So this is different because I played hockey my whole life, and the difference between football and hockey is football. The guys are bigger, and you're lining up, and you're getting hit hard, but you're getting hit. Then the play's over, and you got about 45 seconds to go to your next play. In hockey, you're getting nailed by somebody who's 220, and you're not even looking at him. You're looking at the puck. Yep. You're right back up, and you're into the play. So football's a very hard sport, but it's stop and start. Whereas wrestling, I mean, my first wrestling match, you look at that clock, and that 6 minutes took about an hour to take off the
Yeah,
clock.
for
That's
sure.
in jiu-jitsu.
So water
it's the
polo,
same-
and you're
same deal.
not only water polo, you're fun. You have to stay above the water.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, in jiu-jitsu too. Yeah, you're constantly when you
It's a
do
stamina sport.
any sport where you're with another human in Mortal Kombat is the toughest sport.
Believe me, my friend Natalie and I almost got kicked out of like 90% of Ariana's tournaments because we're like, get off of my kid! Get off there!
You were that parent in this day.
You got the binoculars. You can see what's going on under the water.
I didn't realize that you know, and then like one season in, Ariana, she's so sweet. Out of the water, she's just, in the water, but she's like, Mom, I can hear you a little bit too much. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry.
Was I being loud?
Was I loud? I mean, literally when the ref turns around and is like, you're getting a red card.
You didn't say, I'm sorry, 18 hours of labor. Was I protecting you too much?
48 hours.
40 hours of labor?
Oh my
Just want to let you
goodness.
guys know
Really?
it's 48 hours.
No,
but-
it wasn't.
Oh, want to call Ariana?
No,
It
I
was
called the
48
doctor.
hours. No, I did not even have an
Did you fall asleep
epidural.
during half of it?
No, I
You're
was.
hitting a nerve
It was.
there.
It was. No, you know, I'll just say this.
Did your
It's
husband at least go
amazing.
play golf a couple times?
He was doing. I don't even know, but it's
He
amazing.
was not in labor.
No,
Yeah.
no, but it is amazing what a woman can do, and you know, your
I
mother
wouldn't wanna do
had
it.
double.
We always said if men gave babies, the species would have died out years ago.
That's true. Yeah.
Centuries
Well,
ago.
we're an hour and a half apart.
Really?
So yeah, we're not.
Who was
like,
holding on?
Him.
That was me.
Didn't want to leave, huh?
I did. I had the place to myself for a little while. You know, he was sitting on my head.
As
For a night,
that was
you know.
my only time I had my own
I was
place,
like,
right?
I can
Entire
stretch
life.
out.
Yeah.
And how did you come out?
Feet
Came out
first.
breach.
They did,
Breach.
Came out breach too.
That's
What first?
incredible.
So I was stubborn, for sure. So poor mom.
Wow.
It was
No,
horrible.
she got double the blessing. You guys, I always say this to my daughter, until you have kids, you have no idea how much you'll love something. It's
No,
incredible.
I agree. So on your birthday, they sing happy birthday, and they wait an hour and a half and go, okay, happy birthday.
Exactly. He's
Yeah,
gonna
and then
die
one
an hour
day-
and a half.
I was gonna say one day funeral
Later
is
than
gonna
me.
be
Yeah,
an hour and a
two
half apart,
services,
yeah.
an hour and a half apart. Yeah.
Oh.
No,
But
but
we won't
yeah.
talk about that now.
But yeah, that was
So
our
you guys
story.
graduated when?
2020.
The
In
infamous.
2020 during so you didn't really have an actual graduation. You kind of got thrust into COVID.
You
And,
drive up, they throw it in the dump to the back of your
Right.
car, and you drive off, yeah.
and then when did you guys realize, wait a minute, hey, we want to go back into the entertainment industry?
So
The hellish nightmare that is Hollywood.
Well,
Yeah,
these guys
I mean,
are smart. They're writing their own ticket, and I think you guys get in with Netflix or Apple, or you could probably have them. We're just saying Netflix. I could say they've already have the following. You already have a
anybody's
built-in audience.
yeah, we honestly, I mean, since growing up in Hollywood, and we had decent careers as kids, we know what the fame and the money and the adoration and all that's about. We know that that's not something to chase, and so we kind of had always. We never resented our careers as kids, but we kind of just packed it up in a box, growing up, and said, okay, that was a great experience, and we don't want to revisit that because we know what comes with it. It's not at all what it seems. It's very, very deceiving from that standpoint. And we just never had any interest, I think, growing up, being creative. Never, in that way. We were athletes. I guess we were dumb jocks. I'm just kidding. We're jocks.
You're not
And
dumb at all.
we
You're
didn't-
very smart.
We didn't do
C-level
theater.
jocks.
We
Pass.
Yeah, we're passing.
exactly.
Actually, D levels.
Well, there's a scripture that says there's a scripture that says beauty is fleeting, but a woman that fears the Lord is to be praised. And so that goes to the whole Hollywood and the red carpet and all of the stuff that's
Yeah.
adoration, adoration, and most people don't realize the red carpet's this big.
Yes, it's smoke and mirrors. It
You
really
think
is.
it's huge and it's this giant and it's literally
Yeah.
this big and everyone's fighting to get on it. And when you stand on the sideline and you realize,
It's smoke and mirrors. It's all smoke and mirrors, and that's
it's great for a minute.
So, okay, I have a question. When you guys write, do you write together, write separately?
We just talked about that like
No, we didn't.
10 minutes ago.
No, we
yeah, we
didn't.
did.
Were we?
Did we
Oh,
not?
Oh, you were making fun of her for not listening.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we did. We
I'm
talked
kidding,
about.
I'm kidding.
He basically said
Okay,
they
cut all
share a
this out.
brain. They have a little bit of differences, but they complement each other because they're so similar, and then also in the areas where
Different
you need to be
enough
different.
to be creative, to
It
have some
flows.
creative flexibility.
Have you guys ever done a Doublemint commercial? Let's see what else we said.
There it is again.
He's messing.
I'm keeping tallies. That's twice. Just kidding, don't.
I think that
Hey,
one was
Cory,
intentional.
I went right over his head.
So it did it.
Pretty
though.
sure. No, it did exactly.
didn't,
Yeah,
I know.
Thank you.
I know.
It was double sarcasm.
Yes,
Yes,
it
There
was.
were layers
It was.
involved there.
Well,
Okay.
there's lots of layers here, guys.
It's multi-layered sarcasm here, but So back to your question about like, we feel, it's funny saying this, and I hope everybody reads me right. Like, we've never been actors, like, honestly. And what I mean by that is we've never pursued acting as an interest. It's all been, our entire careers were built off of a blessing, obviously. And it was obviously a calling for us as kids, and it was something that just the way that it played out, it was something that kind of called us as opposed to us pursuing it. And there's,
And the roles were written, and you were cast into that role, and this is how you were going to be and who you were going to play. And I totally get that.
Yes.
So if both of you collectively and individually could pick your perfect role, what would that be? I always tell people I would have loved to have done like Jennifer Aniston on Friends. That would have been my dream job, or someone on Friends, right? But if you could pick your role, what does it look like?
We are interested right now, at least. There's 2 areas where we think we do really well. First is like the Hallmark situation.
Yes,
We're kind of about the right age. We think we have kind of the right look going on. We also have the twin niche, which could be clever. And
the girl fall in love with the twins.
it could be a perfect,
Write a Christmas movie and it'll be on in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Right.
25 of them a year, right?
Yeah, right, exactly. And then secondly is the sci-fi superhero space. They have yet to do twins.
The Wonder Twins.
Wonder Twins.
Wonder Twins.
You guys
Yeah. No, I know, but
Okay.
I didn't.
I know
grow up
one was a
on it.
girl, but still.
Yeah, but they haven't done the identical twin situation yet, and so we feel we're about the right age, the right look. We grew up athletes,
Or the evil cousin.
Or that.
In the 70s, every star had an evil cousin. I Dream of Jeannie, Bewitched, they all had, Sabrina the evil cousin stuff.
All the soap operas did.
Spider-Man had an evil, the black Spider-Man.
Yeah, Venom.
Venom.
Yeah.
It's
that
perfect
would play perfectly.
dichotomy.
We
Guys,
think
get to writing. Write your own thing.
we already have.
Okay.
They did.
You write a superhero
This is what
one?
I'm saying. Would this
Can't disclose what it is.
All right.
would this project
Nice
be
try.
a Hallmark
Have the whole world
project?
sign an NDA.
It would be something related. It would be something related to the superhero space for sure.
Okay,
and that's all
this
that we
is
can
good.
say.
Okay.
We're really excited
we
about
all have lots of contacts, so we want to help you.
Who
very
the mutual
excited.
friend was doing a superhero movie, right? The girl with the class. I can't think of her name right now. The one we were just talking about before, as the acting class.
Sandy
Sandy.
D'Souza.
Yeah,
Oh,
she was
Sandra.
in a 5-episode about,
Right.
but it's about crazy superheroes or like a comedy superhero kind of thing.
Sandy was?
Yeah,
Really?
an episode I think did about 5 or 6. It hasn't been released yet.
Was it? Oh, so it was, because I remember her saying that she was filming.
Yeah.
What network was Desperate Housewives on again? That
ABC.
Was
ABC,
yeah.
So ABC, okay.
Yeah. So, but that's kind of what we're after right now. We don't want to work together, obviously our entire careers, but we also think that if the project is right, and we think ours is, it's something we're really passionate about, and we can use our our twin thing to tell a really good story in a way that an individual can't. And so we plan to use that in one way or another. If our story actually comes to life, that would be great. But if anybody can see the value in the way that twins can represent and symbolize the dichotomy of maybe the human heart or mind. Everything's a dichotomy in life. Most things are dichotomy, and most stories operate like that. And so we can literally personify some of those struggles, some of those dichotomies, because it's kind of the same person but 2 different sides or 2 different roads or something like that.
And
I've seen stories about twins that are like, they blow your mind on like those talk shows where it's like it's
separated at birth,
incredible.
Yes.
Same college. And,
It's just incredible what you
or
guys
you could
have.
do one could direct and one could act and then switch halfway through the film.
Indeed.
We could,
Indeed.
honestly, that could happen
Yeah.
because we do share the same vision,
Yeah.
more or less. We do share.
Because they'd be on the set, it'd be total silence, and one would go, "I know." Okay, I'm just saying.
Or you do it. You go do it. Switch.
It'd be a circus.
Yeah. But
We do like the Russo brothers type of thing.
Yeah.
That's actually what we'd like to do is, and writing was never even part of the plan. This story that
was
we wrote.
acting.
That's
Here we
true. Yeah, but here we are.
I always say, and I've been quoted as saying, is if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans.
Yeah, right. I've heard that. Where was that from? I've heard that before.
I
It's
quoted
in the
it.
Bible.
Somewhere. It's biblically based. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, writing was never part of the plan. And this story that we've written, it's just one of those stories that was effortless to put on paper. It's a story that has been inspired over a long period of time, many years of life lessons and reflection, and we were looking for we've had these themes for a while. We're looking for the right skin to wrap it in, and we found it. And so we
pretty
kind of
cool.
brought the two together, and it took us
Probably
less than a month.
About a month of going to the coffee shop for 30 minutes to an hour a day. We did it every single day. And it was one of those scenarios where we just sat down at the coffee shop and let, the spirit kind of take the wheel, and it wrote itself. And it's not at this point in the game, it's not quite a treatment. It's definitely not a screenplay, because that's not our job or our expertise, but it's a story. And it's based on the hero's journey, of course. And, but we have our themes. We had our themes. Those were really easy to establish. They're very complex and multi-layered. And then we built a story to kind of carry it. Obviously, it's
Has anybody else read it?
By the way, for people not in Hollywood, 90% of the scripts in Hollywood are written in coffee shops.
Oh, for sure.
I wrote
for
mine
sure.
in my office.
You're the 5% that's not.
Thank you. I'm different.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, so has anyone else read it, or just you two? Have you kept it under lock and key?
Very much under lock and key.
You have to.
It's
There are 3 people that have read it.
Mom, Dad, and...
not mom
No,
and dad.
not mom and dad.
Nope. Nope, mom and dad don't know.
Maybe.
They know what it's about. They don't know the story.
Okay, I was going to say they're going to now. I think
Believe me, they've been trying to.
I wish your mom and dad were here. I would love to meet these two fine
oh,
human beings who created two fine human beings, because
They-
really both are.
They
amazing.
are. They're awesome. They're awesome. We actually just came back from. This is total tangent. We just came back from Idaho. We flew in last
That's what you were
night.
saying.
They're moving from California.
They
They're
helped
going
their
to-
parents move to Idaho. On the phone, they were like,
What
well,
good kids you are.
I was literally
Oh, we
like,
owe
They
them.
dragged us by the ear. We were happy. We were happy to
Did
do
you
it,
get
though.
pizza in a 6-pack like everybody else?
We got okay.
We got a college tuition paid. Yeah.
We got a lot. Yeah, exactly. What were you saying about that though?
Oh, I was just.
I
We were on the
interrupted you.
topic of parents, and I was just saying, we just
Idaho.
got back from Idaho. They just built a new house in Eagle, Idaho, right outside of Boise, and it's just awesome. We're gonna spend
bet it's
the
beautiful
holidays up there too, but they deserve it. My dad ran a small business for 37 years out of Linwood, California, and he has just busted his butt for so long to put a roof over our head and just give us everything that we ever wanted. And he also took us to championships as kids when we played sports. We won we won a soccer championship and a baseball championship with
Coach Grant.
with him coaching. I think, yeah.
well done, Dad.
Yeah, so they just like are totally our inspirations. And
Did he get a big
everything.
property up there?
Huh?
Did he get a big property up there? Or?
It's a good sized property. I mean, when you go up there from California, you can get a lot with a lot less,
Oh, yeah.
and so that's what they're doing. And I'll just say that they have no more than they need or no less than they deserve, and it's amazing. It's not. It's less about the house and more about just the area, and they're just in this
And their quality of
country.
life and
Oh,
just
it's
living.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
They're-
amazing.
And by the way, just so you know, I'm just going to say this right now. Your mom and dad are smart. Because I'm looking to do the same thing. I would like to provide the most amazing place for my daughter's children to come to. So they're looking at the
yeah,
next
of
phase
course.
of their
Yeah.
life.
They were thinking
We want to go to
grandkids. Yep.
grandma and grandpa's.
Yeah.
I get
Yeah.
it. I totally
And for
get it.
us, like when we're working in LA, we love LA, and we're even not in the city of LA. Like we said, we're in Glendora, so we have our own little bubble community where we don't have to just be in the fast life,
Yeah.
the whole time. But when we get a little bit claustrophobic here in California, we have a refuge, to go out there and just see cornfields and cows and just
The sky is so
Nature.
big out there. Nature,
Oh my
just
gosh.
space. And it's really where they live in a community called Eagle, which is 20 minutes outside of Boise. And just the space out there. I mean, it's in a big valley, and the skies are big, and the streets are clean, and they're wider than they are here. And just there's more space in between houses and
the air feels
cornfields.
good, huh?
Oh
is
my gosh.
amazing.
And it's at a little bit of an
chemtrails.
altitude.
No chemtrails. Yeah. Well, we just got. Don't edit that out. They're gonna take the whole thing down for chemtrails.
yeah.
Well, you guys are just so delightful. I can't even say right? They're just. It's so nice to see this generation, and you guys are. You get it. How has? We have a few more questions, but how has? I just want to touch on this subject. You said you're a Christian. Obviously, I am. But how has faith impacted just your journey in general? I mean,
Faith has been, it's been, like he said earlier, our entire essence, existence is based on a blessing. That Dodger game was not something we were not looking for Cheaper by the Dozen, for Desperate Housewives, for the Tylenol commercial. That was placed in our lives divinely. And there's more than enough evidence to convince us of that. And we've found coming back into the industry has been the same way. We've had this kind of pull on our hearts from the Lord to come
more
back.
than a
It's
pull in
not
our hearts. It's been deliberate kick in the ass, honestly.
Yeah, it has. No, it has.
Well, and you have to, and the word says, delight yourself in the Lord and he'll give you the desires of your heart.
Mm-hmm.
And so you actually, it has to be a pull.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, who would enter it?
Yeah,
exactly. And it's funny how it kind of works. It's a little bit paradoxical because this isn't something that we say a lot. It's not something we necessarily want to do, and take what I say with a grain of salt. We want to do it. We love LA. We like acting. We love movies. We love cinema. We love it all. Mm-hmm. But it's not. The desire in our hearts wasn't conceived by ourselves. It was conceived
it's a calling.
It's a calling.
Yes,
it's a purpose. Is what it is. And we don't know what shape that we don't know where it's going to lead. One of my favorite verses that I was actually recently introduced to was Proverbs 16:9. It says, "In his heart a man plans his course, but the Lord determines his steps." Really, I've actually struggled with interpretation of that verse too, but really I feel like the Lord placed this desire in our hearts and is determining our steps at the same time. And so somewhere along the line in the middle of college, we finally we kind of realized, the corporate thing isn't really for us. We have a little bit more of an entrepreneurial, creative type of spirit, but didn't really want to go that route. And acting was not it wasn't part of the conversation. It wasn't a consideration up until that point. And we really prayed hard about it, thought hard about it, and it just kind of, doors just
it revealed itself.
Started to open.
Sure.
It just, like he said, the carpet just kind of rolled out in front of us. And so that's the direction we're going. Totally just led. It's not of our own desire, but it's been a desire placed in our hearts. And so to go back to your question, faith has been everything. It's the bedrock of what will become our career if something does become of it in Hollywood, which is the way.
Okay, so I've known you guys for an hour and a half. There are two kinds of people in the world. People who work for other people who work for themselves. You guys are people who work for yourselves. Yeah. So you guys would not last in corporate America working for some guy who's telling you what to do every minute. First, I hate to say it this way, you're too intelligent. And the guy who's your boss wouldn't be as smart as you are, and that's a very tough position to be in when you're smarter than your boss, because you can't show them and you can't tell them. But no, you guys
sounds
work for
like
yourselves.
they're working for God, and you'll just go where He wants you to go.
Indeed.
And you just said it. You said it, and then you said it, and I've always said this. I always say this when I pray: reveal. God, reveal to me your next step, or reveal to this person, or reveal to. And reveal is a huge word, and you said He just revealed it to you. So it's really amazing, and you're listening. We can either not listen or not listen, and I love it when Carrie Underwood, she sang about it. Jesus, take the wheel. I had sat in the driver's seat for many years, and then finally I'm just like, I'm getting in the passenger seat. Just take me where you want me to go. That's what it sounds like. You guys are really open to what God has for you.
It's a discipline.
We're in a really interesting situation too, because we're really at the start of this career that we've been pursuing for a short time, or we got called to really recently, and we have not taken our first job yet. And that's not for lack of opportunity. We've had a couple opportunities, but we've had our ear to the ground, and our spiritual antennas are high in the sky right now. And we've been led on a very narrow path. We are to be because this is not about us. It's about, it's about gaining crowns so that we can cast them at His feet. And so we have to be really particular and really honest about what we want to do, and have, if we were to go into Hollywood and just do one really great project and and that was it, and we never worked again, that has to be enough for us. And even if we don't get any work at all, or if we don't do any work at all, just doing what we're doing right now, just the path that we're on right now, which could take a left or a right turn at any point, needs to be enough. And it so is. And so both of our prayer is that our desire, that He would make our desire be to be at the center of His will, not that our own desires and our own radar would lead us astray. And so we're really confident and excited about the project.
I was just going to say
really
excited.
Really
about
excited.
The project that we wrote, because it is too, how do I word this? It was too well crafted, and the process of it was too well crafted to have come from our brains and our hearts. We're 23 years old. We're about to be 24. We're just young bucks. We don't know much about life, but it's a good story. The way it was conceived was it was through us by an outer force for sure, and we're really excited about it.
I'm excited to see it. We got to figure out how to get it to the next
to the next stage. That's kind of our, we're exploring a lot of avenues right now. That's what
we'll be praying for that.
Stage.
Maybe we'll talk when we turn the mics on.
We're definitely going to do that. So we have 3 questions to wrap it up. I can't believe we've been doing this for 67 minutes. I feel like you guys just got here.
I told you that was going to happen.
I know.
I knew an hour's going to fly by.
It does. So I'm going to ask each of you to, since you're twins, we ask each person 3 words that describe you, but I'm going to have you describe you and you describe you.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
Let's do it. All right, let's do this.
What'd you have to say? I'm Brent describing Shane.
Okay, so I'm Brent describing Shane.
He's good looking.
There you go. Yeah.
Because he kind of looks like me.
Yeah, right.
Hey, you got it. Yeah. Can't put one by you,
No.
Corey. Corey's job is to explain all my jokes.
Let's see. Well, you know what? I mean, Shane kind of missed one. It went a little bit over his head earlier, so maybe more clarity the better.
I caught it on a deeper level than all of you are aware of. You're just behind
I'll give you that one.
So Brent is describing
Shane.
I'll describe Shane.
Oh boy.
Yeah, buckle up.
3 words.
I'd say self-aware is one of them. Let me see here. Focused. That's kind of a broad word. I'd like to use one a little more specific.
That's a great
word. You say focus is a broad word?
Yeah, I feel like it's a bit cliche.
Okay.
I mean, that is an oxymoron, actually.
But I get it.
Yeah, I was going to say determination as well, but focus for lack of a more specific word. I don't want to use confident either. I'll say convicted.
That's a
really,
really good
Now you got to go
word.
positive because he went positive.
That's not a rule. Nobody said that.
First of all,
this is no holds bar. I just took the high road again.
Yeah, of course.
Well, if you're a man and you're convicted, that's actually a really great quality to have as a person, husband, a father, friend.
Yeah.
It's
right, Corey.
What?
Okay, right over your head.
If
you're a man and convicted, you're probably guilty.
I'm just saying it's very difficult for.
You're just one after another today, man. On fire.
Yeah, but it doesn't work because she's not catching them.
That's why
I
I'm
married 2 men and neither one of them were convicted. So I think being convicted. So
Dude.
you know what that stuff.
Okay, we're on the same page here.
No. Okay. Let me explain this because pride goes before the fall, a haughty spirit before destruction. It's a fact. It's biblical. It is a fact. And so when you have pride, you can't actually feel any kind of conviction for anyone, any empathy. A convicted is a broad word. There's a lot of things that go along with that. So that's a compliment.
Yeah. I'm flattered.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Okay.
I know.
Yes,
We'll cut all that out.
You're next.
Yeah, right.
I'm next. So this is Shane speaking for Brent. Leader. I would say convicted too. It's true. Let that be like an honorable mention.
Convicted?
Yeah, I'm not going to use that. He used it for me, but that's an honorable mention. Articulate.
I have no idea if I spelled that right.
Did you articulate?
Don't look at the page.
correctly?
Don't look at the page. There's stuff on there you're not supposed to see yet.
Oh, I was only looking at the word.
Let's see. I would say.
Like 4 years old. You really are.
He's on the page.
I'm 4, you're 4.
And again, I don't want this to be trite, but humble. And humble is another one of those words that can be
Both of you guys
malleable
are.
depending on the context.
Look at these 6 traits that you both are because you're twins. Okay, so those are really great. Those are nice. That's so nice. All right, so we used to do the Rorschach Test, which was an ink blot test of it.
Best thing we ever did.
We took it out because I didn't like it. It was very
What was the
what?
The
What?
what?
The
ink blot
Rorschach.
test. The ink blot.
It's in like the first 60 episodes that we did.
You never saw an ink blot? It's like I hold up an ink blot and you got it, whatever you see, and it's like looking at a cloud.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh, all right.
Gotcha.
But I finally got it vetoed, or I took the ink blots home.
Yeah, she stole the ink blots and took them home.
I didn't steal them.
You
I
took
just
them without
wanted to
permission.
implement a new game.
Okay.
So we do a.
Not a game. It's a serious psychological examination.
It is the
a
word
glorified game.
association test.
This will get you into trouble.
No, it really won't.
Okay,
It's
Corey's going to say a word.
But
First word that comes to your mind as fast as you can at the same time.
are we doing this at the same time?
Yeah, this will be
Absolutely.
interesting.
You're doing it
This
at the
is
same
cool.
time.
Okay.
I'm interested to see how this comes out.
Faith. First word, quick.
Oh,
Mom. That was
Oh my god.
Just made her
I wasn't ready. Let's do it again. My brain was not on.
That's, you know what? You share that one.
Okay.
You can share that one.
Sure.
Mom.
That's cheap.
Oh.
It's cheap.
No, you can tell him. You can tell me. I can't get past that one. I don't know if I can do this. Hollywood.
Smoke
Young.
and mirrors.
Family.
Essential.
I gotta pick this up.
Gotta say
Still
something.
thinking?
Gotta say something.
Oh, I figured you'd use that
No.
one for both of us.
Both-
No, no,
We
no.
can. We can because you did the mom or the yes.
they
Yeah,
gotta
that's what I
be-
thought. I figured
Yeah.
I'll just take the back
I
seat on that
will.
one.
That's a given. Like acting.
Hollywood.
Storytelling.
Yeah, it's true. Sorry, this is your takeaway. I'm giving you guys this as our parting gift.
Okay.
Steve Martin.
Legend.
Dad.
Oh, man.
Oh yeah.
I was going to say banjo.
Those were two very good good ones.
They're one
Great.
and the
That was a
same.
great one. Parents.
Guidance.
Now I'm thinking about what he's gonna say, and I can't even like
Yeah, he's gotta say
spit it
something.
out. Wholesome.
Oh, those are two really good ones. And then I don't know why
Just say it.
Corey.
Leader.
Yeah, I was gonna say leader. That's what I was gonna say. That was gonna be my word.
One said leader.
See, I help you.
She has the tissues on. Say mentor for one and leader for the other.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you guys.
Thank
I
you.
love
We
that.
were talking about Corey Smith. That's okay.
I know, right? That's so wonderful. Gosh, you guys were so amazing.
Now you gotta sign it with love, Corey.
I will, but I have one more question for both of you. It's not who's your celebrity crush? Who?
Shane has to say Brent's celebrity crush and vice versa. Each of you say the other's
I guess we could do
crush.
celebrity. Usually we do
I
like celebrity
wouldn't
crush or someone like a mentor, but if you are crushing on someone, you can.
They're 23. They all have a celebrity crush.
Those are two different questions.
Who's your
Who's
brother's
your
celebrity
They
crush?
are.
mentor and who's your
No,
celebrity
no.
crush? Are two
Who's your
different-
brother's celebrity crush?
Good question, man.
I don't even know, man. I don't
You
know.
say you're twins.
Let me just
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Super twin tower.
let's-
Twin
yeah,
tower.
Telepathy.
Yeah, I'll send that to you.
Are we going that way? Are we going
Yeah,
just
yeah.
the opposite? I've told you mine a few times.
Oh, he doesn't remember.
For you, I'm trying to think. Maybe.
We should have.
I mean, I was going to say
Right,
Aniston,
separate.
but that's everybody's celebrity crush.
That's not it.
Who?
You said Aniston.
No, no,
Jennifer?
I know that's not it. It's
Yeah,
somebody.
is there another one?
It's somebody much more low key. I know. If I know
It
you,
is.
it's somebody much more low key.
It is.
I spill it. Couldn't
Ana
tell
de
you.
Armas.
Who?
Ana de Armas. She was
That's a good one.
in. She was recently in the 007 movie, and she was also in Knives Out with
How do you, how do you
Oh,
spell
Knives
her
Out was
last
a great,
name?
great movie.
DE space ARMAS.
Was she the maid in Knives Out?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Very, very
We'll
good.
She's
be
new. She's new in the
superimposing
scene.
her picture right here on
absolutely.
us.
Yeah, yeah.
Small voice.
That was an amazing movie.
No, it's like
It was. They're
wow,
making a
that's
sequel,
so
too.
Are
nice.
they really?
Yes. Yes.
Knives
It
In
was-
or not?
I don't know.
Okay,
That's a
good.
great one.
Good to know. And then
And Brent's. He said he's told me.
But
Several
actually, it's
times you
changed
said.
since then. So I
Yeah,
don't
well,
know.
let's see if you can remember what your brother told you. Your twin brother that you spent
I think
every day of your
Jenna
life with.
Fisher's on the list. Oddly enough.
That's an older one.
Yeah.
Definitely. Jenna Fisher.
Jenna Fisher.
Okay.
I couldn't tell
That's
you.
not it.
No, we have not had this discussion.
And funny enough, I'm drawing a blank on her name because it's harder to pronounce.
What was she in?
And this is a new one. She was also in 007. Different. I think she was in the new one too. But I'm talking about not the one that was with Ana de Armas.
Right.
Who is his kind of love interest? She's blonde.
see it.
I can't remember her name for the life
Which
of me.
movie?
Let me second to
I was gonna
last
look
one. It was Skyfall, I think. Yeah,
Oh,
I think it was Skyfall.
I know who you're talking about. I can't think
She's-
of her name either.
She's blonde. I think she's French.
She was in this one too,
French
right?
is good.
Yeah, I can't. Gosh darn it! Somebody bring up her name.
I am
Hold on,
because
looking
this
at
is
It's
a
so
new.
funny because I've
Naomi
realized
Harris.
this generation.
Oh, Judi Dench.
Stop. She's great though. I'd be crushed on her. She's a fantastic
Beyonce
actress.
Marlowe.
No.
No. What's
I'm
the
looking for-
latest one
With Daniel
called?
Craig in Skyfall.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
What is
What's
the latest?
interesting?
Elise Day Tweet.
Hmm?
Elise Day Tweet. I don't know. I'm looking at all the women in Skyfall.
Do Skyfall.
It's not in Skype.
What were you saying though?
This
I was
one.
saying that.
Yes, you're right. It's
Elise?
Léa Seydoux. I don't know.
So it's hard. Yeah, it's hard.
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's her. Yep.
I don't know how do you spell your last name.
Elise Seydoux. D-U capital T-O-I-t.
So
First
her
name,
last
Elise.
name is Seydous. Seydoux, I think.
You'll have to tag all these
Léa
people.
Seydoux.
All right, okay.
Oh boy.
Well, no, I was actually saying that it's a
Not
lot.
anymore.
She's a blondie in that movie.
I've realized, like, since COVID for the last couple of years, that we don't have the same marketing as we've had with the magazines and all of the news, and everyone's kind of turned it off and gone to. So we don't know people's names, but we know their characters, and we've seen them, but we're not seeing them on the front cover of this magazine or the. So it's been an interesting transition, I think, when you have a name and you're in a big project like that. So I totally hear what you're coming from, because I oftentimes don't know someone's name too, but I've seen a project and I'm like, oh, like that show you. I know that guy. I've seen it. I don't know his name.
First of all, IMDb has saved me, because before IMDb and the internet, you'd watch a movie. I couldn't watch the movie until I remember what the person was in. Are they in it? And everybody says, shut up. Wait, I got to figure out who this person's in. Oh, they were.
And you know everybody else is doing that.
Yeah, and now you just go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can just.
Well, I want to say this to both of you, because we had a quick conversation on the phone, and at the end of our conversation, I said a prayer with you guys, and we had a little conversation. And when my daughter was born, my mom sat me down in the room and she said a prayer over my daughter, and she said the same prayer over me when I was born. And I'm just going to say this so the world can hear it. May God continue to bless you and keep you, and may he shine his face upon you always and in everything that you do. And I just met you, and I'm so proud to know you and to just see where you're headed. And if we can do anything, we will certainly do that. But I already know that you have the best agent, God, and he's definitely directing your path. And so I just pray for a special blessing on you guys, and that, your favor continues, it just continues, and that all of your heart's desires are fulfilled. So thank you for driving all the way out here today and being our guests. We're so...
Who drove?
Yeah.
Do you always do the driving? You switch?
I usually do
Oh,
the
depends,
driving.
man. Who calls it first?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
You each have your own car, though, right?
we share a truck, and then we have our own.
You have your own car.
We each have our own car. We took the truck today, so it's a coin flip situation.
So he'll drive on the way back, probably. That's how it works.
You guys want to drive some furniture up to Denver?
Yeah.
You guys have a truck, huh?
There's gas and $40 in it if you want to go to Denver.
Yeah, my truck's broken.
It just broke.
Yeah.
Go out and take off the distributor.
Conveniently. Well, I'd like to reciprocate that as well, because this was first of all, it was great to come out here and
Thank you.
do this in person. I mean,
Yeah.
this doesn't.
great.
We could have easily done this over Zoom, but it doesn't.
It doesn't have the same flair.
It really doesn't. It really doesn't. And more jokes would have gone over more
Well,
people's
we we had a comic who's very, very funny who lived in LA, and the morning of, I said, okay, here's my address. Oh, I live in Vegas now. So we did it by Zoom, and he's a funny guy. He's been around 40 years. It's not the same. We've had
not the
comics sit
same.
in the chair. You go back and forth. Yeah,
It's about nuance.
Yes.
You can't pick up on the nuance
Right.
when you're, over Zoom. You got to wait for people to talk to. But anyways, yeah, just this was obviously the
Thank you.
spirit was in the room with all of us. And
Listen, tell Steve. We'd love to have Steve on the show.
well, just
Call
him
it
up. Hey, Dad. Yeah.
Hey, Dad.
He's pretty
Hey,
busy.
legend.
Yeah.
Legend
Hour
Dad.
out. He's got to live close.
So, anyways, this was extremely pleasant. It was a great time. We're happy to be here in person, and
Thank you so much.
and like I said, everything likewise.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much. Thank you.
And we're out.
The Coriolis Effect is produced by Jazz Productions. Producers Cory Oliver and Bob Victor, host Cory Oliver, editor Bob Victor, and assistant editor Kate Bonsall.